Hey guys, Tom Bramwell from Eurogamer here, taking a look at Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Wii U, which is out this Friday in Europe, and I believe other parts of the world as well. So if you live in another part of the world, you know, how's it going over there? Are you having a nice time? Is everything good? I hope you're able to access Tropical Freeze. So yeah, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is there's kind of two ways of looking at this game, I think. If you're looking at it through the eyes of a new player, you know, someone who hasn't played recent instalments in the series, then it's an entertaining, rock-hard, old-school platform game in glorious HD graphics. Yeah, there are certain elements of it that you might describe as a bit too old school for their own good, but in general, it's fantastic. However, if you're looking at it through the eyes of someone who played Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii or the 3DS, it's pretty much more of the same. Often elements copied and pasted, like some of the level elements you're seeing here, the sort of the bulbous plant things, platform designs, many of the abilities, well, pretty much all the abilities. And the main thing is that it's now in HD. There are some other little bits and pieces that have changed, but they're kind of incidental details rather than things that you would hang an entire game off. You know, Cranky Kong and Dixie Kong. I got Cranky Kong earlier in the level. You're probably seeing his pogo stick in action, and Dixie Kong can be carried along as companion characters. Unlike the SNES games, in DKC Returns and in Tropical Freeze, your companion character is just on your back, and you sort of ferry them around, and they confer a special ability and a bit more health to you. But yeah, Dixie and Cranky don't make a huge difference. They're just a slight, you know, they're subtly different. And there's water elements. You can see the water stuff. This is from the first level of the game, and it's actually this is probably the thing about the game that is the nicest, strongest new addition. There's also a new collaborative ability called Kong Pow, which you don't really use all that much, to be honest. So yeah, all pretty minor additions, other than which it's kind of DKC Returns again. So you know, it's a 2D platform game with nicely stylized 3D graphics. There are lots of secret rooms to unlock. It's got a fantastic feel. The control is actually much better, I would say, on the Wii U gamepad than it was on the Wiimote. On the Wiimote, you had to sort of do some waggly gesture type stuff to access certain controls, whereas with this, you can play it much more like, you know, a normal kind of 2D video game. Particularly the barrel roll move. Enemy design is really cool. I really like the Viking style they've gone for. You know, enemies alone aren't all that hard to defeat, but it's all about the tough jumps, bottomless pits and stuff that complicate things. And of course there are minecart levels, as you can see, and rocket barrel levels, which might call to mind the sadly departed Flappy Bird. Loads and loads of collectibles to encourage replayers. You'll see on the end screen of the levels, puzzle pieces and stuff to find. And actually just fantastic music is something that really stood out to me while I was playing it. Just so catchy and well performed, and there are some really kind of standout tunes on a few levels. Things that I'm still humming in the office now, which is annoying all of my colleagues. And there are also some hardcore bosses, which I won't show here. The final boss of the game is an absolute douchebag, so enjoy him if you ever get there. The water levels are probably the, as I said, the strongest, most, I don't know, the kind of the biggest new addition, if you like. You know, some lovely little level design elements in here. You know, the one that you're seeing on the video, where you can affect the lighting in the level by going near certain enemies or activating certain objects is really nice. And they sort of, you know, they take you out of water sometimes. So here's a bit in the middle of one where you can unlock you kind of go through and find a secret room. Yeah, most games have really rubbish water levels, but these are conspicuously excellent, with really nice precise controls as well, which is a really difficult thing to get right in water levels. So yeah, we haven't got a new Metroid game from Retro Studios, but we have got unusually good water levels, which is something, I suppose. So yeah, overall, Donkey Kong Country, keep trying to call it Donkey Kong Country Returns, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. It's a fun game. I think it's too close to its predecessor, really, for my liking. As a Nintendo fan who plays a lot of Nintendo games, I'm disappointed that it's so similar. I would have liked it if it had had a bit more of its own character to it. Instead, it feels like a kind of finessed and almost kind of perfected version of what it was previously. So you know, if you like challenging platform games where the developers have kind of concentrated on making the platforms, traps, artwork and stuff really brilliant, you know, as though they were making a game in the 90s but with 21st century hardware, then this is great. But if you play the previous ones, you may find it a little tired. But yeah, if you're just looking for this sort of thing, then you really can't go wrong, and Retro hasn't. So yeah, that's it for me. Please subscribe if you like this video, and hope you enjoy Tropical Freeze.